My mom said, let bygones be bygones, about my wife sleeping with my brother, then dating after divorce. Bygones include the $90,000 I loaned her for her house. She's selling it now. Alright, Reddit. I need to get this off my chest, because the absolute audacity of my family has reached levels I didn't think were humanly possible. I'm 35 male, a financial analyst. Been working in the industry for about 12 years now. Good money, stable career. Own my condo, outright in Austin. I'm the type who pays bills early, maxes out retirement accounts, and actually reads the terms and conditions before signing anything. My dad was an accountant who drilled financial responsibility into me from day one. And honestly, it served me well. My younger brother, Tyler, 32, male, is the complete opposite. Always has been. He's the creative type. And I'm using the heaviest air quotes possible here. Went to art school for 3 years before dropping out. Tried start a clothing brand that lasted 6 months. Spent 2 years finding himself in Thailand on mom's dime, and has bounced between bartending jobs and selling vintage furniture he finds at estate sales. Mom calls it entrepreneurial spirit. I call it being unemployed with extra steps. Growing up, the dynamic was pretty clear. I was the responsible one. The one who got good grades and never caused trouble. Tyler was the one who marched to his own drum and needed space to explore his creativity. Translation. I had to work my ass off for any recognition while Tyler got praised for showing up. When I got into a top business school, that response was, "That's nice, honey," before immediately pivoting to how Tyler's new acrylic painting was really showing promise. When Tyler got fired from his 3rd job in a year, Mom called it the universe redirecting his path. Dad saw through it. He'd pull me aside, sometimes, and say, "Your brother's going to have a hard life, son. He doesn't understand that talent without work ethic is just wasted potential." Dad tried balancing Mom's coddling by being stricter with Tyler, but it never worked. Mom would undermine him, slip Tyler money behind Dad's back, make excuses. The fights they'd have about it were legendary. I remember one particularly bad one when I was 17 and Tyler was 14. Tyler had stolen Mom's credit card and racked up $800 in charges at some skateboard shop. Dad found out and grounded Tyler for 3 months. Mom waited until Dad left for work, then told Tyler he could go to his friend's house anyway. When Dad found out, he exploded. Said Mom was raising a criminal. Mom cried and said Dad was too harsh. Tyler, of course, learned nothing from the experience. Dad died of a heart attack 8 years ago. He was only 52. I was 27, just starting to make decent money. Tyler was 24 and living at home between opportunities. The funeral was rough. But what made it worse was watching Tyler milk the grief. He'd cry dramatically at the service, accept condolences like he was the star of the show, then go out drinking with friends. That same night, Mom defended it, said, "Everyone grieves differently." The life insurance money was split between Mom, Tyler, and me. Dad had specified equal amounts for the 3 of us, $50,000 each. Mine went straight into investments. Tyler's was gone in 6 months. Blew it on a trip to Europe with his girlfriend at the time, a motorcycle. He crashed 3 weeks later. And God knows what else. Mom gave him $10,000 from her share to help him get back on his feet. I told her she was enabling him. She said I didn't understand artistic souls. I met my ex-wife Rachel, 33 female, at a the work conference about 7 years ago. She was in marketing for a tech startup, seemed smart and driven, laughed at my terrible jokes. We dated for 2 years before getting married. The wedding was beautiful. Paid for it myself because Rachel's family didn't have much. And Mom kept saying she'd already spent so much on Tyler's business ventures that she couldn't contribute. Should have. I've seen that red flag waving. The thing is, Rachel seemed perfect at first. She was ambitious, had goals, talked about building something together. We'd spend hours planning our future. The house we'd buy, the kids we'd have, the life we'd create. She made me feel like I wasn't just the responsible, boring one, like being stable and reliable was actually attractive. Looking back, I see how she played me. She'd compliment my financial sense, while secretly resenting it. She'd talk about our future while never contributing to savings. She'd say she loved how close my family was while plotting to destroy it from the inside. But at the time, I was blind. Completely, stupidly blind. Rachel and Tyler got along great from day one. Too great. But I trusted them both. They'd text constantly, hang out when I was working late, grab lunch together. Rachel would say things like, "Your brother is so funny," or "Tyler gets me." You know, I thought it was nice that my wife and brother were close. Shows how stupid I was. There were signs I missed, like how Rachel would get defensive when I asked about her day with Tyler, or how Tyler started dressing better, suddenly caring about his appearance, or how Mom would get this weird look when all three of us were together. Like she knew something I didn't. But I pushed it down. These were the two people I trusted most in the world besides my parents. They wouldn't betray me like that, right? About 4 years ago, Mom called me with that tone. The one where she's about to ask for something she knows I'll say no to, but is going to guilt trip me anyway. She wanted to buy a house. Not just any house, but this 4-bedroom craftsman in a trendy neighborhood that was way above her budget. She'd been renting the small apartment since Dad passed away 8 years earlier. And the landlord was selling the property. She needed to find somewhere fast. "I found the perfect place," she said. "But I'm $20,000 short on the down payment." I asked about her savings. Apparently helping Tyler with his business investments had cleaned her out. I asked about the life insurance money. She got quiet. Turns out she'd given most of it to Tyler over the years. For his Thailand trip, for his failed clothing line, for his rent when he couldn't make it, for everything except saving for her own future. The number kept creeping up as we talked. First, it was 20,000, then 40, then 60. Finally, she admitted she needed $90,000 to cover the down payment and closing costs. Said she'd pay me back when she sold some stock she'd inherited from Dad. Those stocks that she'd already sold 2 years earlier to fund Tyler's Thailand adventure. But I didn't know that yet. I said no initially. It was a huge amount. But Mom cried. Said I was the only one who could help her. Said Dad would have wanted me to help family. Said she'd pay me back within 2 years, maximum. Said she couldn't live in that apartment anymore. And SD. That she needed stability. That she was getting older and needed to invest in her future. I told her I'd think about it. Rachel actually pushed me to do it. That should have been another red flag I missed. It's your mom. Rachel said she raised you. It's the right thing to do. Besides, we're doing well financially. We can afford to help. We like it was her money too. Like she'd contributed anything to my savings. But I didn't see it then. I just saw my wife supporting my decision to help my mother. So, I drafted a promissory note. Nothing fancy, just a basic agreement outlining the terms. $90,000 loan to be repaid within 2 years with 3% annual interest. Mom would make payments quarterly, starting after 6 months. It was more generous than any bank would offer. Mom signed it without reading it thoroughly, thanked me profusely, and bought her dream house. I remember helping her move in. Tyler was there, of course, doing the bare minimum while Mom praised him for trying so hard. He'd carry in one box, then disappear for 20 minutes to smoke. Meanwhile, I'm hauling furniture, hooking up appliances, making sure everything's working. Rachel helped, too, but she spent most of the time hanging out with Tyler when I was busy. Mom was so happy that day, kept talking about how this was her fresh start. How she'd finally have stability, how she'd pay me back soon. Tyler made some joke about me being the family bank. And everyone laughed, even Rachel. I laughed, too, but it stung. I'd just given my mother $90,000 and my brother thought it was funny. That was 4 years ago. The 2-year mark came and went. Every time I brought up repayment, Mom had an excuse. The property tax was higher than expected. She needed a new roof. The HVAC system died. Tyler needed help with medical bills. Always something. I was patient because, well, she's my mom. Figured she'd pay me back when she could. The first quarterly payment was supposed to be $12,000. It never came. When I called, Mom said she was short that month. Could I give her more time? I said fine. The next quarter came. Nothing. I called again. She'd had an unexpected expense. Tyler's car broke down and she'd helped him. I started getting frustrated. Mom got defensive, said family shouldn't charge family interest. Said I was being greedy. Mom, we had an agreement. I said, you signed a legal document. Oh, so now you're iPod, treating your mother like some stranger, like a business transaction. That became her go-to response whenever I mentioned the loan. I was treating her like a stranger. I was prioritizing money over family. I was being cold and heartless. Never mind that she'd borrowed $90,000. Never mind that she'd promised to pay it back. I was the bad guy for wanting what was legally owed to me. Then came last October, the month my life exploded. I came home early from a conference in Denver. My flight got moved up by a day because of weather. Walked into my condo around 4:00 p.m. on a Wednesday. Heard noises from the bedroom. You know where this is going. Opened the door to find my wife and my brother in my bed. My bed that I'd paid for in my condo that I owned. Rachel screamed. Tyler grabbed the sheets. I just stood there. Brain completely shut down, trying to process what I was seeing. Then the anger hit. Not loud, explosive anger. Cold, calculating rage. I told them both to get out. Now Tyler tried the whole bro, let me explain, routine. I told him if he called me bro one more time, I'd make sure he left in an ambulance. He left. Rachel tried to talk. Tried to say it was a mistake, that they'd been drinking, that it didn't mean anything. I asked how long. She went quiet. I asked again, louder. This time, she finally admitted it had. We've been going on for 8 months. 8 months of lying to my face, of me working late to provide for us while she was screwing my brother in our home. The details made it worse. They'd been careful, she said. Always, when I was working late or traveling, Tyler would come over. They'd have wine. One thing would lead to another. She made it sound so casual. So inevitable, like they were powerless to stop themselves. Like my feelings didn't matter because they had a connection. I asked if they loved each other. She said she didn't know. Said it was complicated. Said she never meant to hurt me. I told her that's what people say when they don't want to take responsibility for deliberately hurting someone. She started crying. Said I was being cruel, that she was trying to be honest. I told her to pack a bag and leave. She had 24 hours to get her stuff out or I'd put it on the curb. She started crying harder, saying we could work through this. That couples therapy could fix it. I handed her my phone with our marriage counselor's number already pulled up. Call him, I said. Tell him you've been sleeping with my brother for 8 months. See if he thinks we can work through that. She left. I sat in my living room for hours, staring at nothing. Finally called my best friend, Richard, around midnight. He came over immediately. Didn't ask questions. Just brought beer and let me rage. Richard had never liked Rachel much. Said she always seemed fake. Wish I'd listened to in him. I called my lawyer the next day and filed for divorce. Texas is a no-fault state. But it's also a community property state. Which meant this was going to get messy. My lawyer, Paul, was excellent. He suggested we document everything, every text, every financial record, every piece of evidence showing Rachel's affair. We wanted to establish that she'd violated the marriage, which could impact how the court divided our assets. The next few weeks were a blur of lawyers, paperwork, and devastating discoveries. I went through our financial records with a forensic accountant. Turns out Rachel had been using our joint credit card to buy Tyler gifts. Found charges for expensive cologne, designer sneakers, even a leather jacket. My money funding her affair with my brother. Paul loved that detail. Made it much easier to argue she'd been wasting marital assets. We also found Venmo transactions. Rachel sending Tyler money for dinner, for gas, for you, hundreds of dollars over 8 months. Money from our joint account, money I'd earned. Money that was supposed to be for our future. The divorce took 6 months to finalize. I got to keep the condo since I'd bought it before marriage. We split our other assets, but I made sure to document every penny she'd spent on Tyler. The judge wasn't impressed. Rachel walked away with less than she would have if she'd just been honest. Meanwhile, Tyler moved into a new apartment. A really nice apartment. Too nice for a guy who bartends 3 nights a week. Here's where it gets interesting. About 3 weeks after Rachel moved out, I found out why. Tyler suddenly had money. Mom had given him $20,000. When I asked where she got that money, she got defensive. Said it was none of my business, that she could spend her money how she wanted. I reminded her about the $90,000 she owed me. She said she was working on it and changed the subject. Working on it how? I pressed. You just gave Tyler 20 grand, but you can't make a single payment on it. The loan Tyler needed help. She said, he was going through a hard time. He was going through a hard time. He destroyed my marriage and you gave him $20,000. Don't be dramatic. Tyler and Rachel fell in love. These things happen. That's when I realized Mom knew. She'd known about the affair before I caught them. Had to have known. The pieces clicked into place. Her weird behavior. Her comments about Rachel and Tyler spending time together. Her insistence that I work less and spend more time at home. She knew and said, nothing. You knew. I said you knew they were sleeping together and you didn't tell me. She didn't deny it. Just said I didn't know what to say. I hoped it would fizzle out. I hung up. Didn't talk to her for 2 months after that. 2 months after the divorce was finalized, Rachel and Tyler made it official on Facebook. Posted photos of them together at some art gallery opening looking all coupley and in love. The comments from my extended family were nauseating. You two, they are so cute together. Love finds a way. My Aunt Karen actually commented, sometimes the heart wants what it wants. Yeah, Karen. And sometimes, people are just garbage. Mom's response, like the photo, commented, beautiful couple. I called her immediately, asked what the hell she was thinking, publicly supporting them after what they'd done to me. She said I was being dramatic, that I needed to move on. That holding grudges wasn't healthy. I asked about my $9,000. She said we'd talk about it later and hung up. That's when I started paying closer attention to Mom's finances. Not snooping exactly, but definitely keeping track of what I could see publicly. She'd been posting photos of home renovations, new kitchen, cabinets, hardwood floors refinished, professional landscaping. All stuff that cost serious money. Money she apparently had for everything except paying me back. The family dinners became unbearable. Mom started inviting Tyler and Rachel. Said we all needed to move past this. That family was family. That life was too short for anger. I stopped going. Mom called crying, saying I was tearing the family apart. I told her Tyler and Rachel tore the family apart when they decided to screw each other. She said I was being vulgar and immature. My brother sleeping with my wife wasn't immature apparently, but me being upset about it was make sense. 6 months passed. Tyler and Rachel got serious. Moved in together. Mom helped them find a place. Even co-signed the lease because Tyler's credit was garbage. Every family gathering I skipped, Mom would call and guilt trip me. Your brother misses you. Rachel feels terrible. We're family. We have to forgive. I tried explaining that forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. Doesn't mean I have to sit at Thanksgiving dinner and pass the maxis. Sweet potatoes to the woman who betrayed me or the brother who backstabbed me. Mom said I was being stubborn. That Dad would be disappointed in me for holding on to anger. That pissed me off. Dad was the one who taught me that your word meant something. That when you borrow money, you pay it back. That family doesn't mean free pass to treat people like garbage. Dad would have been furious at what Tyler and Rachel did, but of course, Mom reframed it to make me the bad guy. Then came the phone call that broke me. 3 months ago, Mom called on a Sunday afternoon, used her cheerful voice, which meant she wanted something. Sweetie, she started. I've been thinking a lot about everything that's happened. About the distance between us. And I've realized something important. I waited, knowing whatever came next would be we need to let bygones be bygones. Life's too short to hold on to the past. Tyler and Rachel are happy. You've moved on. It's time for us to be a family again. I asked if bygones included the $90,000 she owed me. She got quiet. Then came the classic manipulation. I can't believe you'd bring up money at a time like this. I'm trying to heal our family, and you're worried about money. Mom, you borrowed $90,000 4 years ago. The agreement was 2 years. It's been 4. When are you paying me back? She sighed like I was being completely unreasonable. I'm working on it. But these things take time. I've had expenses. What expenses? You just renovated your entire house. That was necessary. The house is an investment. My money was supposed to be a loan, not a gift. She changed tactics, got angry. Said I was being selfish, that I made good money and didn't need it. That she was my mother and deserved better treatment. Then she hit me with the guilt nuke. Your father would be ashamed of how you're treating me over money. I hung up. Didn't yell. Didn't argue. Just ended the call. But something shifted in me that day. I was done playing nice. Done being the responsible one who got taken advantage of. Done watching Tyler get everything, while I got nothing but demands for more. I sat in my condo for hours that night thinking about everything. About Dad. About how he'd warned me that Tyler would never change. About how Mom had always enabled Tyler's worst behavior. About how I'd spent my whole life being the good son, the responsible one, the one who could be counted on. And what did it get me? A cheating wife, a backstabbing brother, and a mother who chose them over me. I called Paul, my lawyer, asked him to send Mom a formal demand letter for the $90,000 plus interest. He drafted something, professional but firm, giving her 30 days to pay, or we'd pursue legal action. Sent it certified mail so she couldn't claim she never got it. Mom called me, screaming. How dare I involve lawyers? How could I threaten my own mother? What would the family think? I told her the family already thought I was for not forgiving Tyler and Rachel, so I had nothing to lose. She said I was destroying our relationship over money. I said she destroyed our relationship when she chose Tyler over me repeatedly for my entire life. That shut her up. We hadn't talked about the golden child dynamic before. It was always this unspoken thing, but I was done pretending. You've always chosen Tyler, I told her. When he dropped out of school, you paid for Thailand. When he needed money, you gave it to him. When he slept with my wife, you liked their Facebook photos. You've made it very clear where your priorities are. So, no, this isn't about money. This is about respect. And right now, you owe me $9,000 of it. She hung up. I got a text, an hour later. I'm selling the house. You'll get your money. But don't expect a relationship after this. Fine by me. I wasn't expecting a relationship anyway. The house went on the market 3 weeks ago. I've been monitoring the listing. Obsessively. It's priced at $425,000. Mom paid $280,000 4 years ago. The market in her area has appreciated significantly. My $90,000 helped her buy a house that's now worth $145,000, more than she paid for it. And she has the audacity to act like I'm being unreasonable wanting my money back. I did some math. If she sells for asking price after paying off her mortgage and realtor fees, she'll walk away with roughly $190,000, more than enough to pay me back with interest. But I'm not holding my breath. I know Mom. She'll find reasons why she can't pay the full amount. Why she needs to keep some for moving expenses. Why Tyler needs help with his new business idea. Why anything except honoring her commitment to me. The listing photos are ironic. The renovations she did, the ones funded by money she should have used to pay me back, made the house look amazing. Gorgeous kitchen, beautiful floors, professionally landscaped yard. My money making her property more valuable. Money she borrowed from me is now equity she gets to keep. Last week, I got a call from my Aunt Linda, Mom's sister. She tried the whole family mediator routine. Your mother is very upset. Linda said she feels like you're being vindictive. She owes me $90,000 that I loaned her in good faith. She's your mother. Family helps family. Family also pays back their debts. Money isn't everything. It is when you borrow it and refuse to pay it back. Linda tried another angle. Don't you think you're being a bit harsh? Suing your own mother. I haven't sued. I sent a demand letter. If she pays me back like she agreed to 4 years ago, there's no lawsuit. What about Tyler and Rachel? Don't you think you should try to forgive them? They're very happy together. That's when I lost it a bit. Told Linda that I didn't care if Tyler and Rachel were happy, that their happiness was built on betrayal and lies. That I didn't owe them forgiveness just because they decided they were in love. That if Linda wanted to mediate, she could start by asking Mom when she planned to honor her financial obligations. Linda got quiet, then said, your mother told me you're trying to take her house. I laughed. I'm not taking anything. She's selling it. I just want the money she borrowed from me. That she signed a promissory note for, that she legally owes me. Linda changed her tune after that. Guess Mom had been telling everyone I was forcing her to sell. Not that she was selling to avoid a lawsuit. Classic manipulation. Paint me as the villain. So nobody asks why she hasn't paid me back in 4 years. The showing reports from Mom's realtor have been interesting. Lots of interested buyers. The house is in great shape thanks to the renovations Mom did with money she claimed she didn't have to pay me back. There's already been one offer at $415,000. Mom rejected it. holding out for full, asking price. Part of me wants the house to sell quickly so I can get my money and be done with this. Part of me wants mom to sit in the reality of her choices for a while. To realize that enabling Tyler his entire life, funding his failures, choosing him over me, repeatedly, it all has consequences. Tyler tried reaching out last week. Sent me a long text about how I was being unfair to mom, how family should stick together, how he and Rachel wanted to make peace. The text was classic Tyler, all about feelings and reconciliation, nothing about accountability or consequences. Bro, I know things got messy, but we're still brothers. Mom's really hurting right now. And I think we need to come together as a family. Rachel and I want to make things right. Can we grab coffee and talk this through? I didn't respond. What's there to say? He destroyed my marriage. Mom funded his lifestyle with money she borrowed from me. And now I'm the bad guy for wanting to be paid back. The delusion required to send that text is staggering. Rachel messaged me too. Said she understood I was hurt, but that she and Tyler had something real. That she hoped I could find it in my heart to forgive them. That mom was suffering because of my stubbornness. I blocked, know her. Done giving these people space in my head. The house is still on the market. I check the listing every day. Mom's realtor is doing open houses every Sunday. I drove by last weekend. Parked down the street. Watched people coming and going. Couples mostly. Some families. People looking for their dream home. No idea that the seller is only selling because her son finally demanded she honor a 4-year-old debt. Got another call from mom yesterday. She'd received a full price offer and accepted it. Closing is in 3 weeks. She told me I'd get my money. But she wanted me to know that she'd never forgive me for forcing her out of her home. I didn't force you. I said you could have paid me back any time in the last 4 years. You chose to spend that money on Tyler, on renovations, on everything except the debt you owed me. I'm your mother. I shouldn't have to pay you back like some common debtor. You're not a common debtor. You're someone who borrowed $90,000 and signed an agreement to pay it back. That's how loans work. She started crying. Said I was being cruel. Said Dad would be ashamed. Said Tyler never would have treated her this way. And that's when it clicked. Tyler never would have treated her this way because Tyler never would have loaned her the money in the first place. Tyler doesn't have $90,000. Tyler doesn't have $9,000. Tyler is a perpetual child living off mom's goodwill and my money. You're right. I told her Tyler would never treat you this way because Tyler takes, he doesn't give. And you've enabled him so much that you can't even see it anymore. She hung up. Haven't heard from her since. The closing is scheduled for next Friday. Paul has already contacted mom's lawyer to ensure I get paid immediately after the sale. Not negotiable. The promissory note is clear. She owes me $90,000 plus 4 years of 3% interest, which comes to $48,725. Paul added legal fees for the demand letter, bringing the total to $13,000 even. Mom tried to negotiate. Said she shouldn't have to pay the interest since I make good money. Paul shut that down immediately. The agreement was clear. She's not negotiating from a position of power. She borrowed money, failed to pay it back on time, and now faces legal consequences if she doesn't honor her debt. Tyler called me this weekend, said I was destroying the family over money, that I was being vindictive, that he and Rachel wanted to help mom but couldn't because I was being unreasonable. I asked how much he was planning to contribute toward mom's debt to me. He got quiet. That's what I thought. I said, you want me to just write off $90,000 so mom doesn't have to face consequences? But you can't kick in $5,000, $1,000, anything. He said it wasn't about the money. It was about family, about forgiveness. I told him, family doesn't sleep with your auntie, brother's wife. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. And if he was so concerned about mom, he could start paying his own way instead of draining her dry. He called me a selfish prick and hung up. Good riddance. The closing happened yesterday. I wasn't there. Paul handled everything remotely, but I got a notification from my bank around 2 p.m. $13,000 deposited into my account. Paul texted, it's done. You're paid in full. I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no relief, just emptiness. I'd gotten my money back, but I'd lost my family in the process. Then again, maybe I never really had a family. Maybe I had people who used my sense of responsibility against me, who took advantage of my willingness to help, who chose the person who gave them chaos and problems over the person who gave them stability and solutions. Mom texted me last night, "I hope you're happy you got your money. You also lost your mother." I responded, "I lost my mother 4 years ago when she chose Tyler over me." I just stopped pretending otherwise. She didn't reply. Don't expect she will. Rachel sent me a message this morning. "I heard about your mom's house. Tyler's devastated. This family is falling apart because you can't let go of the past." I finally responded. "The family fell apart when you slept with my brother. I'm just done pretending we can glue it back together with denial and demanded forgiveness. You and Tyler chose each other. You got what you wanted. Leave me alone." She read it but didn't respond. So here I am, $13,000 richer and completely estranged from my mother and brother, my ex-wife and her new boyfriend. My brother think I'm unreasonable. My extended family is split. Some get it, most don't. Aunt Linda has been posting passive-aggressive Facebook statuses about family members who value money over love. Aunt Karen keeps commenting on Tyler and Rachel's photos with heart emojis. But I've got my money back, my dignity intact, and the knowledge that I don't owe anyone forgiveness just because we share DNA. Let bygones be bygones. Mom said. Sure. The bygones include a $90,000 loan, 4 years of broken promises, a lifetime of favoritism, and your blessing on my brother's relationship with my ex-wife. If those are bygones, then so is my relationship with all of you. I'm moving next month. New city, new start. Taking a senior position at a firm in Denver, better pay, better opportunities, and 1,200 miles between me and this disaster. None of my family knows yet. They'll find out when I'm gone. Maybe they'll miss me. Maybe they'll just be relieved they don't have to pretend anymore. Richard helped me start packing last weekend. He asked if I was really going to cut them all off permanently. I told him they cut me off first. I'm just making it official. He understood. Huttered Mark. He'd help me load the truck when the time comes. But I'm done being the responsible one who gets taken advantage of. Done being the good son who loans money he'll never see again. Done forgiving people who never actually apologize. Done being the family ATM who's supposed to smile and nod while his brother screws his wife and his mother applauds. Tyler and Rachel can have each other. Mom can have her martyrdom and her favorite child. And I'll have my peace, my money, and a fresh start in a city where nobody knows my name. The irony is that Mom will probably end up giving Tyler whatever's left of her house money. He'll blow through it in a year, come back asking for more, and she'll have nothing. Then she'll be the one asking to move in with him. Good luck with that. Tyler can barely take care of himself, let alone an aging mother. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's just getting your money back and moving on. It's building a life so good that the people who abandoned you realize what they lost. It's succeeding despite them, not because of them. Dad would be proud, I think. Not of the family falling apart, but of me standing up for myself, of me refusing to be taken advantage of me understanding that family is supposed to be a source of support, not a burden that drags you down. I'm done with this chapter. Denver awaits. And, frankly, I can't wait to close this book and start writing a new one. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube, this video deserves to blow up.